My apologies, team. Keep it clean. My apologies, man. Because with this video, it took me a little while to make it. Because I had to take some time to think. I had to take some time to think. Take some time to try to analyze what went down and really try to take some time to process just exactly how great, I can't use the word good, exactly how great of a GM Eric DeCosta is, man. I know the picks are for 2021. So with the picks being for 2021, you were looking to unload salary cap. They've been doing it in so many different ways. They restructured Pat Ricard's contract. They restructured L.J. Fort's contract. They released James Hurst. They traded Hayden Hurst. So that was more for him to get an opportunity and them to get a draft pick. They have just done so many different things. They extended Sam Cook's contract. They have been moving and shaking and bringing in quality guys, upgrading the team. But then with this, you trade a backup defensive lineman who was going to count a little over $2 million on the cap this year. Now, of course, you brought in some quality depth. So Chris Wormley he might have been active on game day. He was active all last year. But he wouldn't have seen too much time. But he was counting over $2 million on a salary cap, and you trade him away along with a 7th round pick for 2021. Remember that part. But you gain a 5th round pick. So you're giving up a 7th round pick, and I'm not trying to sound harsh. I'm not trying to sound mean, but it's a 7th round pick. So a lot of those guys don't even make the rosters. So you're essentially giving up somebody who probably wouldn't have made the roster anyway. You're essentially giving up somebody who probably wouldn't have made the roster anyway to acquire, and you're giving up to somebody who wouldn't have made the roster anyway, along with a depth guy. And you're gaining $2 million cap space, and you're gaining a 5th round pick in 2021. Chris Wormley is not a bad player. He just really didn't get many opportunities because it was always somebody in front of him. Ever since he's been with the Ravens, it's always been somebody in front of him. When he's been on the field, he's been decent. He hasn't been bad or anything like that. So I don't want Ravens fans or even Steelers fans to think, oh man, this guy, he sucks. No, he doesn't. He is not a bad player at all. But the thing with him is that he hasn't had much opportunity. Will he get that opportunity with Pittsburgh? We'll see. Now, I know they got a nice little D-line over there. They got a whole little situation over there too. But I'm sure he'll get some playing time with them. But this trade, like for Eric DeCosta to be able to work this trade, like you can commend him for a lot of other trades. You can commend him for what he gave up to acquire something great. He gave up a backup linebacker and a 5th, not a 1st, not a 2nd, not a 3rd, not a 4th. He gave up a backup linebacker and a 5th round draft pick to acquire Marcus Peters. He gave up a 5th round draft, not a 1st, not a 2nd, not a 3rd, not a 4th, but a 5th round draft pick to acquire Calais Campbell. DeAndre Hopkins, best receiver in the NFL. He went to the Cardinals for a 2nd round pick and an injury-prone running back. Eric DeCosta gets a 2nd round pick for Hayden Hurst. Now, are Hayden Hurst and DeAndre Hopkins on the same level? No. Do they have the possibility to be? You never know. And I know the one plays receiver and one plays tight end, but when I speak about them being on the same level, I mean just them having a huge impact on the game, them having a huge impact on their team's offenses. And I think Hayden Hurst can definitely do that this year with the Falcons. But with those two both being acquired for second-round picks, one's been doing damage in the NFL for years. He has been the best receiver in the league for years. The other one is coming up on his third season where he's underachieved. Not due to anything because of him, but just because of the situation that he was in. But both of those, if you would have told me both of those guys would both go for second-round picks, I would have been like, oh, what? Like, no, you need to be a comedian. That's crazy. Like, but for this, Eric DeCosta to do this in the division. So, I mean, you're going to have to see Chris Wormley 2 times a year, but you're going to have that $2 million cap space this year. You're going to get that $2 million cap space immediately, right away. So that is a beautiful thing. Now, I don't know how this happened, man. I'm like, wow. Because when the news first came across the screen that the Ravens were in talks to trade Chris Wormley, I was like, okay, I can understand why. Trying to get rid of the cap space. They brought in a lot of defensive linemen. Understood. And the draft coming up, too. They're probably bringing another one. Still got Dalen Mack coming back, too. Okay, cool. But then when it said to the Steelers, what? Pittsburgh? In division, right? And then what made it worse? Oh, my God. What made it worse? Y'all just put Yo-Yo, you petty. Put Yo-Yo, you petty in the comment section. If you still hit this part of the video, just put Yo-Yo, you petty. Yo-Yo, you petty. Because my guy, Yo-Yo, he tweeted me. He said, right after the news about the trade came out, he said, I guess Calais wanted that 93 that bad. I said, oh, man, why you doing that, man? Why are you doing that? What? Yo-Yo, you petty, man. Ooh, that one hurt my heart. When I first read that hurt my heart. I said, oh, man. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. But this, oh, boy. Eric DeCosta is something serious, man. He is something serious. The same day they make the official the Jihad Ward signing, same day they make official the Calais Campbell, and then they do this. They getting ready for something. I'm not trying to hype anybody up. I'm not trying to get you all riled up. I'm not trying to get you amped up any more than you already are. But they are getting ready for something. They're getting ready for something. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is. But they're getting ready for something. They have been making so many different moves to get more salary cap space. To generate more cap room. Obviously, Matt Judon is holding up the most cap room right now. Whether they are re-signing him or whether they're going to be trading him, we'll see what we waiting every day for that. Every day. But they getting ready for something. I don't know what it is. Again, I don't know who it is. I have absolutely no inclination on any of it. But they getting ready for something. You best believe that, man. Eric DeCosta has been making so many moves, man. He has been making so many moves. So many moves. And we are only, 5 days into free agency? Because it started on Monday. And I don't want to hear nothing about that. Oh, no, it actually really started Wednesday in Grave. No, it started on Monday. And he has already made this team essentially better than they were last year. Like, when you look at they're better than they were last year. The only thing we lost is Hayden Hurst, that's a pretty big loss. But what we gained outweighs what the Ravens lost by far. By far. So you lose Hayden Hurst. You lose Chris Wormley. You lose Tony Jefferson, even though he was lost for the season already. But you lose that, and, I mean, what do you gain? You gain Calais Campbell. You gain Michael Brockers. Jihad Ward stays. We didn't gain him, but he stays. Ravens are better, man. They are better, especially the defensive front, because that's what needed to improve big time. They still got plenty more moves to make, but this They starting off very good. This offseason has started off very good for the Ravens. Eric DeCosta. Just, again, and I keep saying this, I said it's going to take 2 to 3 years to figure out what kind of guy this is, what kind of GM Eric DeCosta is. And we're seeing that this guy is smart, and he is very aggressive, and nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. And that's not even a bad thing, but, yeah, you're not safe. And he is consistently trying to upgrade this team and trying to make this team better than they were the week before. We saw that every week last season. Every week it was like they were making a move. Every week they were signing somebody new. Not literally every week, but you get what I mean. Because I know there's going to be somebody, well, Ingraven, in week 15, they didn't sign anybody, so that's where you're wrong at, buddy. Man, some people are so literal for everything. Literal for everything and all technical. Hey, don't forget about week 16 either, buddy. But anyway. Eric DeCosta, I don't know what you got on these GMs, man. But, hey, I ain't going to ask no more questions. Team keep it clean like Chris Wormley is with the Ravens. I'm out.